Hi, Larry Berman here, and here's what's on my radar this week. Well, it's been an interesting period here. Markets at all-time highs. A week ago, we were nervous about volatility. 2 weeks from now, after the bulk of earnings are through, I think we're going to be worried about volatility again. So, typical bit of a melt up here, and for large cap technology and earnings, I think you still look at things and say things are pretty darn good from that perspective. So to the extent that we get a pullback, we still think relatively minor, but in the 5 to 10% range as we get through September, August, September, and the liquidity challenge that we've talked about before. Front and center this week is the debate with China and what China's done with some of their internet and educational stocks and the DDIPO and all that still very much in the forefront. Emerging markets have had a bad couple weeks here. Chinese mainland stocks, Chinese internet stocks down pretty hard in the last number of months. So now we're getting the news. It's starting to come out. We think bottom's very near. For our long side on our portfolios, we added another tranche to KWEB today. So we last week we added a bit more on the gap down. Today we've got one more tranche to do. Should it go a little bit lower here? Love the idea of building into oversold conditions where we think there's better long-term value. So right now, market's very, very concerned about the technology battle that's going on with China. That's really it here. I think we looked earnings for Apple and Microsoft next week and some other big tech names. We've had some warnings from companies like Boston Beer, for example, that's saying they're not going to meet their numbers. That stock had ramped up tremendously on expectations for reopening. So, just have a look at Sam and look at that big up, big down kind of volatility. Starting to get interesting again, but there's a big multiple in that stock. So a little caution there. Maybe around 600-700 range looks interesting. We should get into that range in the next couple of weeks here. So bull and bear pick of the week on the bull side, it's pretty simple. It's got to be KWEB. It's got to be Chinese internet stocks. They're amongst some of the best values in the planet. If you look at the last few months, 5% of that ETF has come from these Chinese educational stocks that looked like they might be nationalized now, turned into not-for-profits. There's 4 or 5 names in that ETF that are dragging it down considerably. But the big names too, the Baidus, the Alibabas, the JDs, all those big names, Pinduoduo, that are in the NASDAQ, for example, a couple of those names are being weighed down by overall. So we think that's bull pick of the week. On the bear pick of the week, we've got to think about hedging portfolios here. We've got to think about ways as the S&P gets very overbought here to maybe take the edge off on a correctional seasonal over the next couple of months. I like to do it by way of put spreads. You can sell a call spread to buy a put spread. There's a lot of creative ways to get defensive as an overlay to your core holdings without going out and liquidating anything and triggering capital gains and things like that. So bear pick of the week is to be cautious. Bull pick of the week is the value developing in China very quickly in Chinese internet stocks. Have a great week, everyone.